Palati. Okay. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. When an envious person commits an offense before a great personality, he is always punished in the way mentioned above. Please repeat after me. When an envious person commits an offense before a great personality, he is always punished in the way mentioned above. Text 20, translation and purport. So, maybe we can go word by word translation and purport. Please repeat after me. Na, not. Va, or. Etat, this. Vishnudat, O Maharaj Parikshit, who was protected by Lord Vishnu. Mahat, a great. Adbhutam, wonder. Yat, which. Asambramam, lack of perplexity. Swasira chedane, when the chopped off the head. Apatite, was about to happen. Api, even though. Vimukta, completely liberated from. Deha adi atmana bhavam, the false bodily concept of life. Sudrada, very strong and tight. Hrudaya granthinam, of those whose not within the heart. Sarvasattva surud atmanam, surud atmanam, a person who in their hearts always wish well to all living entities. Nirvairanam, who do not find anyone as their enemy. Sakshat, directly. Bhagavata, of Godhead. Animesha, invincible time. Arivara, and the best of weapons. The Sudarshan Chakra. Ayudhena, by him who possesses the weapons. Apramattena, not agitated at any time. Tai, by those respective bhavai, moods of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Parirak Syamana Nama, of persons who are protected. Tat Padamulam, at the lotus feet of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Akutaschit, from nowhere. Bhayam, fear. Upasrustanam, of those who have taken complete shelter. Bhagavata, of devotees of the Lord. Paramhansanam, of the most liberated persons. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace. Sukadeva Goswami then said to Maharaj Parikshit, O Vishnurat, those who always ready know that the soul is separate from the body, who are liberated from the invincible knot in the heart, who are always engaged in welfare activities for all living entities and who never contemplate harming anyone, are always protected by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who carries his disc, the Sudarshan Chakra, and acts as a supreme time to kill the demons and protect his devotees. The devotees always take shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. Therefore, at all time, even if threatened by dissipation, they remain unagitated. For them, this is not at all wonderful. Purport. These are some of the great qualities of a pure devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. First, the devotee is firmly convinced of his spiritual identity. He never identifies with the body. He is firmly convinced that the spirit soul is different from the body. Consequently, he fears nothing. Even though his life may be threatened, he is not at all afraid. He does not even threat an enemy like an enemy. Such are the qualifications of devotees. Devotees are always fully dependent on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the Lord is always eager to give them all protection in all circumstances. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Now thus end the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 5th canto, 9th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Supreme Character of Jad Bharat. Om Jnana Timirandasya Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kant Radha Kant Namastute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhevacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. When an envious person commits an offense before a great personality, he is always punished in the way mentioned above. Text 20. Sukadeva Goswami then said to Maharaj Parikshit, O Vishnurat, those who always know that the soul is separate from the body, who are liberated from the invincible knot in the heart, who are always engaged in welfare activities for all living entities, and who never contemplate harming anyone, are always protected by the Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead, who carries his disc, the Sudarshan disc, and acts as a supreme time to kill the demons and protect his devotees. The devotees always take shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord. Therefore, at all times, even if threatened by decaptivation, they remain unagitated. For them, this is not at all wonderful. So, envious persons commits an offense before a great personality. He is always punished by so many means because he has committed offense against the powerful personality. So here the rogues and thieves, they were envious and they wanted sense gratification to fulfill their own desires. So naturally they went to Goddess Kali and wanted to offer her bali or offer her some flesh of a very nice personality such as Jad Bharat Maharaj. So they forgot that Jad Bharat Maharaj is pure devotee and they wanted to offer his body to Goddess Kali. So Goddess Kali, she punished them by killing them with her sword. She finished them all rogues. So offense committed against any superior personality results in a devastation. Then in text 20, Srila Sukadeva Goswami says to Maharaj Parikshit, O Vishnu Rat, the pure devotees such as Jad Bharat Maharaj he knows very well that he is not this body but his spirit soul, separate from body. So this is a very foundation of spiritual life. If you want to build big spiritual life, then we have to have a solid foundation. And that solid foundation is to understand that we are not this body, but we are the spirit soul. So this has to be remembered all the time, even if we are liberated, even if we go back to home, back to Godhead, and eternally situated there. A pure devotee always keeps in mind that he is not the body, he is the spirit. Achinta khalu e bhava natarkenu vidyate. We cannot conceive matter, or other way around, we cannot conceive anything spiritual, with our material senses, material body, any material things such as stethoscope, telescope, microscope, has no scope of any kind to understand the spiritual nature of soul. But a pure devotee, he knows, and he is always remains situated on spiritual platform. And because he is situated in spiritual platform, he never he never regret or never becomes victim of ignorance, because he knows very well he is the spirit soul, anti-material particle, not this product of this material world. The body is a product of material world, but a pure devotee knows I am not the body. We have seen in the example of Srila Prabhupada that Srila Prabhupada had 2 heart attacks going to America. Just in the beginning, Arabi Samudra. Just in the beginning. And it was massive heart attack. If third one had come, Prabhupada writes in his diary that I will not survive. And naturally, third one didn't come. So we are all saved due to that reason. But Prabhupada had firm conviction that I am not this material body. I am the spirit soul. So he did not make U-turn from halfway journey. So welfare act and always engages in welfare activities, such divine personality. So the topmost welfare that we can offer to humanity at large is to make them understand you are not this body. And with this very mistake that I am the body becomes the root cause of our suffering. It's a body which suffers. But because the soul becomes one with the body, the soul gets suffering. Otherwise, soul is Satchidananda, eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. This is the nature of the soul. But because of the association with material world, material body, material everything, he thinks that he is also matter. He thinks that he is the product of this material world. But a pure devotee knows that he is not this material body. He is something beyond, and that is spiritual body. Yeah, I am the spirit soul. Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi. I am Brahma. So, this understanding that I am not this body but I am the spirit soul is the foundation on which we can develop our spiritual life. If you miss this point or forget this point at any time, any moment, immediately there were unlimited stresses coming to us. So Prabhupada in the purport goes on to say that Jad Bharat Maharaj was a pure devotee. And even though they were trying to kill him and about to kill him, still he was not protesting. He was just taking mercy of Krishna. It is up to Krishna. But Mare Krishna Rakhe Ke, Rakhe Krishna Mare Ke. Those devotees whom, or when Krishna wants to kill somebody, nobody can save him. And if Krishna wants to save somebody, nobody can kill him. So, we have seen in the example of Lord Nityananda, who was very compassionate towards Jagai and Madai. He was very compassionate. Let me make these rogues into devotees so that they can enjoy bliss, spiritual bliss. But on the contrary, Jagai and Madai, they hit Nityananda's head with broken pot. And even though Lord Nityananda did not become angry, But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he could not, Sisi Panchatattva ki, he could not bear the beating or hitting of Lord Nityananda. He immediately ran to the scene and tried to call his Sudarshan disc. But Lord Nityananda is very compassionate towards rogues. He said, my dear Lord, please save them. Your incarnation is Patita Pavan. You have incarnated to deliver the miscreants. So please save them. And with his plea, Lord Nityananda's plea, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, leave them, not kill them. So a devotee goes other extreme. He tried to kill me, but I'll try to save him. Other extreme. So we have to Srila Prabhupada is saying in this purport that how pure devotee is acting. That pure devotee has a firm conviction, he is firmly convinced that his identity is spiritual and he acts on a spiritual platform. The materialist acts on material platform. Above material platform is sensual platform. The living entity is pulled and pushed by senses for sense gratification. And above that is mental platform. They are driven by mind to act in material way. And then intellectual platform, they can scrutinize. Yes, I am not the body, but the spirit soul. So Srila Prabhupada is emphasizing a point that a pure devotee is convinced that the spirit soul is different from the body. So this Prabhupada is stressing every lecture. He is stressing the point that we are not this body, but we are spirit soul, part and parcel of Krishna. And because we are part and parcel of Krishna, we must serve Him. And easiest service is chanting the holy name, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. This is the easiest method of serving Krishna. Minimum 16 rounds every single day. Then this becomes sadhana, our firm sadhana, practice every day. When we practice this every day, then sadhana bhakti haya ratira uday. Rati, sadhana bhakti can give birth to intense attachment to Krishna. And Rati gad haile tar prem naam hai. When this Rati becomes solidified by practicing sadhana bhakti, then that solid Rati, solid attachment to Krishna turns into prema or love of Godhead. It gives birth to love of Krishna. But we have to perform this sadhana bhakti very carefully, 16 rounds very carefully, execute all services very carefully. Srila Rupa Goswami says that devotional service must be performed with utmost enthusiasm. Not like dead man, I have to do this, so let me get over with it. Quick. No, he performs devotional service with great enthusiasm. Here is one chance for me to serve the Lord. When he finished that service, here is another chance to serve the Lord. Here is a third chance to serve the Lord. And he is around the clock very busy serving Lord. Because material activity will be futile. It will be all waste of time. Because we are not matter. We are not this body. We are spirit. And spirit, if he engages or spirit engages into spiritual activities, then it is a right setup in a same gender. Spiritual activity, and we are spirit, soul. So by this we can become totally blissful. If we can execute pure devotion to Krishna, which is our dharma. A living entity cannot remain idle for a second. Nacha tasmad kshanamapi jatu tishtasya akarmakrit. Karmakrit. A living entity cannot remain without acting, without doing something. It has to continuously do something. Even in the sleep, mind goes on and body goes on, and so living entity has to do something every minute. So why not turn that doing into Krishna's doing? Let me do it for Krishna. Then automatically Krishna says, Bibarmiham. I carry what they lack and I protect what they have. Yogakshema vahamiham. When we completely surrender to Krishna, Prabhupada says in purport that such are the qualifications of devotees. Devotees are always fully dependent on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Dependent, surrender to Supreme Personality. And the Lord is always eager to give him protection in all circumstances. So if we submit ourselves to Krishna totally, %, if we totally depend and surrender, become sincere to serve Krishna, then Krishna gives the boon here that I protect. Sarva dharman pradita jimamekam sarva. Aham tvam sarva papebhya mokshayishami vasudha. I'll deliver you from all sinful reactions. So, we have to depend on Supreme Personality Godhead. Then Krishna takes care of our yoga and aksham. He takes care of our needs. Ta, man, manaska, mat, prana. Those inhabitants of Raj, they have given up their lives, air, their life, soul for me. And they cannot, even for one fraction of a second, they cannot deviate their mind away from me. Taman manaska. Madhartya tyakta loka dharma. For me, they have given up lok dharma, kautumbik dharma, all dharma. And just they surrender unto me. They want to serve me. So for such devotees, I directly protect them. So this is the symptoms of pure devotee, pure devotion, in whose heart Bhava has manifested. The characteristic of Bhava is Srila Rupa Goswami describing in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. What is that? The kshanti avritya kalatvam virakti manasunyata asa baddha samutkantha namagani sadaruchi. Prititad vasati sthale asakti tad gunakhyane prititad vasati sthale. Iti adaryor bhavankure jane. Whoever has developed their bhava, a stage before love, before prema. One who has developed bhavankure jane, he is called jata bhakta. Means kshanti, he is most tolerant. Again, Nityananda, he wanted to deliver Jagai Madai. They hit him on the head. But he is kshanti, he is tolerant, he is tolerating. So these are the symptoms of those who have developed their bhava, their love for Krishna. Kshantir, avyartha kalatvam. And then he doesn't waste single moment of his time, always engaged in Krishna's transcendental, loving, devotional service. Always engaged. Avyartha kalatvam. He doesn't waste single moment of his life. Always renders transcendental service, transcendental devotional service to the Lord. Kshantir avyartha kalatvam. Virakti. He is detached from material world. Virakti mana sunyata. And he does not accept any kind of respect for himself. He is always offering respect to others. Virakti mana sunyata. Ashabadda. Samutkanta. He is always very patient. One day Krishna will bestow His mercy on me. One day Srila Prabhupada bestow His mercy on me. Patience. Ashabadda Samutkanta. He is always very eager to please the Lord. Samutkanta. Prititada vasati sthale and namagane sadaruchi. He has developed taste for chanting holy name. He wants to chant. He cannot stop chanting. So that is bhavankure jane. One who has developed their bhava, a stage before love, prem. These are the characteristics. Santi ravyartha kalatam, virakti manasunyata, asabadda samutkanta, namagane sadaruchi. Asakti tadgunakyane, prititad vasati sthale. And he is always very, very eager. He loves staying in the dham where Lord has performed His transcendental pastimes. Priti tadavasati sthale. He loves to stay in Vrindavan, Mayapur, Raj, Mathura, Ayodhya. He loves to stay where Lord has performed His pastimes. So this is bhavankure jane. Those who has developed their bhava, their attraction for Lord. These are the characteristics. So, devotees are always fully dependent on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the Lord is always eager to give them all protection in all circumstances. This is a purport of a purport. So I'll stop here. Any question anybody has? Any question? Yes.
Maybe it's not here. I don't speak too much. Okay. Srila Prabhupada jako često govori uvijek uključen u službu. I mnogo puta imam osjećaj da priča samo o čistim baktama.
Okay, can you please say it again?
Prabhupada često govori uvijek uključen u službu.
we should always be engaged in
transcendental
transcendental service.
To znači da on govori samo o čistim baktama.
So does it mean that he's only speaking about pure devotees?
No, he is speaking about all devotees, pure or impure. They all devotional service to Krishna, whether pure or impure. On a pure state, he is rendering pure devotional service, and in non-pure state, he is trying to serve it with offenses or with force or with other means. But in a pure state, he is spontaneously attracted to serve the Lord. So that's the main difference. In impure state, he may be forced, or he has to push himself even. But in pure state, they both are serving. They have to serve. Mada Bhakti Labhati Param. That Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na sochati na kankshati. Sama sarveshu bhuteshu Mada Bhakti Labhati Param. Pure devotee renders para bhakti, pure bhakti. And impure devotees, they render service out of necessity, out of serving, out of force, out of push. But they're both rendering devotional service. Is that okay? Any other question?
Koji odredište onda osobe koja nije čisti bhakt? Jer ja sam jedan razgovor sa Sundara Prabhu.
How is it determined who is a pure devotee and who is not?
Which is the destination
Huh?
what is the destination for the devotees who are not pure?
Okay. What is the definition of pure and impure devotees? That's what it is. A pure devotee always acts to please the Lord, and he does not care for his happiness, or he doesn't care anything. Only aim of pure devotee is to serve the Lord in the purest form, without expecting anything. Ahaituki apratiyata, constant devotion and without any expectation devotion. Only aim for a pure devotee is to please the Lord. He does not care about his happiness. He cares about happiness of the Lord. So that is pure devotee. Pure devotee's definition is that definition of pure bhakti. Anya abhilasa sunyam gyan karma dhanavrutam anukulan Krishna anusilanam bhaktir uttama. This is pure bhakti. And one who renders pure bhakti is a pure devotee. So pure bhakti means anya abhilasa sunya. There is no expectation or desire in return of any kind of desire for return or for anything. He just wants to render devotional service to please the Lord and not to please himself. But when he pleases himself, automatically, when he pleases Lord, he is automatically pleased. So, anya abhilasa sunya gyan karma dhanavrutam. And leaving aside speculative knowledge and karma kanda, acting on his own interest. Karma kanda means my interest is to go to heavenly planets and enjoy heavenly delights, heavenly pleasure. No aspiration for that. So, anya abhilasa sunya gyan karma dhanavrutam. No karma kanda, no jnana kanda, suska jnana kanda. Anukulan Krishna anusilan. Favorably, he is serving Krishna, the way Krishna would like, the way pure devotee Guru would like, the way pure Vaishnavas would like. That is how he would serve devotees and Lord. Anukulan Krishna Anusilan. That bhakti is pure bhakti. And one who executes this pure bhakti is a pure devotee. And non-devotee or Kanishta Adhikari, they are interested in their own gain. How will I get some gain for myself from rendering devotional service, from piety, going to heaven, Kshine Punya Mrityu Lokam Vishanti. When Punya finishes, come back again. So this is alloyed, mixture. I want to please my senses, sense gratification. That's not pure devotee. He serves Lord so that he can become happy, peaceful, blissful, sense gratification. He can have all these things. That's why he is worshipping Lord or serving God. This is mixed, not unalloyed. It is alloyed. It is mixture. So then it is Kanishta state. It is not pure devotee. Third class devotee. But devoted. Any other question? Yes.
You said about devotional chanting. I'm interested in how can I nourish the devotional chanting in the material world? Because after time there's a lot of distractions, and after time it comes to the more to routine.
Mechanical chanting. It becomes mechanical chanting. Goes on and so how to do to enhance your chanting. If you remember all the time while chanting that I want to chant purely Suddhanama. Suddhanama means you have to avoid 10 offenses. And you must know 10 offenses. You know 10 offenses. So you have to avoid those 10 offenses. And how to avoid those 10 offenses? By not committing 10 offenses, by not indulging into it, becoming serious and sincere. Do not commit an offense. And there are subtle offenses which are kutinati, which are adoration, distinction, honor. These are the subtle weeds, offenses to the holy name. Adoration, distinction, honor. So how can you enhance your chanting? Practical tips can be you chant in association with devotees, or whenever your mind goes off, you bring him back. Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha uchyate. Vairagya, practice detachment. At least 2 hours sannyas. While we are chanting, we should take 2 hours sannyas. Sannyas means detaching ourselves from material world. So those 2 hours, we have to take instant sannyas. Take it and give it up. Take it and give it up. Because we have other material desires. So we have to become serious, sincere, chanting with devotees, chanting with Gurudev, and giving utmost priority to chanting early part of the day. Your first business in a day is to chant your rounds. So if we become serious, sincere, and always apply our mind to chanting holy name, And if mind doesn't dwell on chanting holy name, the real reason for that is Krishna is telling Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagya, not enough vairagya. Wherever, whomever, whatever we are attached to, our mind goes there. But if we are attached to Krishna, if we have developed love for Krishna, then our mind will only dwell in Krishna. Yatha yutinam yuto cha yatha mano abhiramate tadvat. Hey Krishna, let my mind dwell on you or get attached to you like young girl on a young boy to the young girl. Their mind is always attached to one another. So we have to withdraw our mind every time. So withdrawing mind means abhyas and vairagya. So we have to do constant practice and 2 hours detachment from material world. 2 hours sannyas for chanting. I have no attachment. I don't want to do anything with material world for 2 hours. I want to give all my energy to chanting. Serious and sincere. Then we can do best chanting. Suddhanam. Hare Krishna. Any other question? Yes?
Ja sam često čuo o raznih seminarima.
He also heard in many seminars.
He also heard?
I'm just translating part by part.
Okay, he also heard.
He heard in many seminars.
I sad je on također rekao.
He heard in seminar?
He often is heard in many seminars.
Many seminars, okay.
I on je sada rekao.
And he also says now
Da treba da matramo minimalno 16 krugova.
that we should chant minimum 16 rounds.
Yes.
Međutim, kad vidim razne bakte,
But I see devotees,
i u mom slučaju također,
and also in my
i
case,
učenici Prabhupada i starije bakte,
and also Prabhupada disciples.
oni su usvojili standard 16 krugova. Znači, usvojili su maksimalno 16 krugova. Te su bakte, počeo od mene, usvojili maksimum 16 krugova, a ne minimum.
I think it's they are.
What is the upper limit for chanting?
Ne, usvojen je standard 16. On je rekao minimum 16, a ne standard.
The Prabhupada said minimum, we should chant minimum
16.
but this is not the standard.
The standard is set by Lord Chaitanya and by Krishna. And that is Kirtaniya Sadahari. Trunadapi Sunichena Taroreva Saisnana Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. So that's the standard. Satatam, this is Lord Chaitanya. And Krishna says, Satatam Kirtayanto Mam. Satat, always. Kirtayanto Mam. Yatantasya Dhradavrataha Kathayantasya Mam Nitya. Oh, sorry, I mixed both, 2 sloka in one. Satatam Kirtayanto Mam. Yatantasya Dhradavrataha Namasyantasya Mam Nityam. Anyway, Nitya Yukta, Nitya Hamish, all the time, Yukta, engaged all the time in Kirtan, in congregational chanting or chanting japa. So standard is set by Lord Chaitanya and Lord Krishna. Always chant my holy name. Kirtaniya Sadahari. But we could not do it. So Acharyas cut it in half, 128 rounds. Haridas Thakur. So we could, even that, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, okay, cut it another half, 64 rounds. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's disciple, they used to chant 64 rounds. Even Prabhupada used to chant 64 rounds. So, when he gave Diksha in New York, first Diksha, Prabhupada said, chant 64 rounds. The Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur standard, what he got from his Guru. And 15 days later they came back, said, Prabhupada, this is impossible. This is impossible. Because of the Western body, Prabhupada thought, yes, it is maybe too much for them. Addicted in, sense gratification, smoking, this, that. It is too much. Let me cut into the half. He said, okay, 32 rounds, go back and chant 32 rounds. That they couldn't do. They came back again, the first batch, disciple of Prabhupada. Prabhupada, impossible. We cannot do 32 rounds. He says, Prabhupada said 16, bas, and no less. This is it. So then, that is how 16 figure came. But the standard is Satatam Kirtayanto Mam. Kirtaniya Sadahari. Around the clock we should chant the holy name. Is that answers your question?
It's almost not impossible full time.
He said it's impossible to chant all the time.
He said it is impossible? What? Huh? It is impossible to chant all the time? What does it say? What does it say? Yeah, so then cut half and half and half, 16. And maybe from our batch on, the next batch from Prabhupada disciples, they might cut into half, who knows. And then again cut into half and half, and nothing will be left. But that day did not come yet. 16. Who knows, Kali Yuga may progress very severely, and the acharyas to come, they might have to cut into half, 8 rounds. It may happen, I don't know, I'm speculating. I'm just speculating, but not yet. Okay. Yes, Ananta Prabhu. Comment. Yes. You answer your question.
This is difficult. Regarding chanting, we hear this
Difficult.
and the very important and the easiest method and how to come to the Bhagavata. Can you kindly share your realization with the chanting? Because you are chanting for 40 years.
Yeah, because my experience is because I am old now, 72, and drastically going towards, leave this body. I am trying to push as much as I can to give all my energy into chanting. And at the age of 70, the real fact is one should retire completely from everything, preaching and everything, and just do his own bhajan. That's what people, think about Nirjan bhajan, a young disciple of Prabhupada. It's not for them. But at the age of 70 or 75, after 75, one must concentrate. That's why Prabhupada, one must concentrate on his own bhajan, his own chanting and devotion to Krishna. Concentrate constantly, around the clock. But even though he may be on the road preaching, his mood will be, how can I chant myself nice rounds, devotion, how can I devote myself more and more. So that's a realization at the end of the life, that now that end has come, no other priority. The kids are gone, money is gone, jobs are gone, body is gone, house is gone, wife is gone, and you are just only body is left, and that's it. And even body, ahar, nindra, bhai, maithun becomes lesser and lesser. Eating, sleeping, meeting, defendant, it comes to an end. So then Dhruva Maharaj, he ate only leaves and then flowers and then air, and then he left the air also, and then pure devotees, they can quit their body when they want to. That is pure devotee. So right time, right moment, they leave their body. So this is what I think. I should really get into my sadhana, and that means reading intensely, chanting intensely, preaching intensely. Everything intensity should increase rather than any kind of sense gratification. One cannot do any sense gratification anyway. The body is finished. What sense gratification old body can have? Eating? No. You can't eat. If you eat, it will be very difficult to digest. And if you digest, very difficult to take it out. Very difficult. Very difficult. So eating is finished. Sleeping, you hardly can get sleep. Sleeping becomes reduced quite a bit. Body, sleeping becomes reduced. There is no question of mating and defending. Body becomes totally invalid for anything. So that's why people keep dogs in Western world. Because no, everything is gone. They want to love, but who? Whom they want to reciprocate with who? They can't reciprocate with anybody. So then they want to love dog. Dog wants to love master. Dog is very, very faithful to the master. So like that, my realization is I should intensify my bhajan, pujan, and prepare to go back to home, back to God. Prepare. It should be preparation. So that's how I think. I have to prepare. And I am prepared. I am prepared. Nothing is left. No sense gratification. Nothing is left means only one thing is left. And that is Krishna consciousness. So that is prepared. Leaving aside everything and only have one thing, that is Krishna. So that is preparation. Any other question? Is that okay? Any other question? Yes, Mataji.
Thank you. I was just thinking about the quick death.
You were thinking about? Huh? Quick death. Yes.
How important is that? How we can prepare ourselves and plan to, because we don't know how death looks like. And we are actually afraid of not to be prepared properly, because I know that it's really good shepherd, not that prayed for they like a swan, like goes with the neck, going through the.
Yes. Yes.
Roots of water, he can give kind of pain in the body, but he can remain thinking about Krishna, so to speak. And I'm just wondering, I'm just thinking about how to really prepare. I mean, that really not being in the moment afraid and don't
So that's preparation. You said it. Prabhupada and Krishna. That remains at the end. And from everything else we withdraw. And just put our mind, consciousness, false ego, intelligence, everything, just wind it up and place it at Krishna's lotus feet. Remembering Him, talking about Him, anything we are left with. And if you are go to coma, don't worry. Still Krishna is there. Prabhupada says Krishna comes at the end as a death or as a name, holy name. So I have seen my mother, how she passed away. She was having massive heart attack. But she remembered holy name. She remembered Krishna. She remembered donation, give it to donation for brahmanas and temple and all this. She told me, here is donation in my pocket. And she chanted holy name. And I fight with her, don't chant. Meditate on Krishna. Doctors are saying, you cannot speak. So I was saying, don't speak. Meditate on Krishna. She said, I'm taking holy name, and she fight with me. Why you saying not to chant? I'm taking holy name. And as soon as she said, I'm taking holy name, Hare Krishna, gone. She said, Hare Krishna, gone. So this is preparation. That withdraw everything from everywhere. And, concentrate, give all energy to Krishna. If you practice whole life, it's very easy. It will be easy if you practice. But if you don't practice, then it will be frightening. But if you practice, then yes, I have to leave these material things out behind, and now I have to come to you, my dear Lord. So please handle the situation, and Krishna does handle for devotees. Even if devotee goes in coma and no consciousness much, Krishna definitely. Krishna is not thankless. He is very thankful. He is Bhakta Vatsal. He is very, very affectionate towards his devotees. So, rest assured ourselves that Krishna will take care of it, whole thing. Because it is frightening experience to go through the other births, other body, other 8,400,000 different species. Frightening. I don't want to. We can go back to home, back to God, or we can be under Krishna's protection, even though we may be in material world. Krishna, under Krishna protection, He can give us pure devotion again, which is blissful. Pure devotion is the only bliss. Any other question? Huh? You can hear. Yeah. Even if you go to coma, you can hear, and you will naturally get attracted to the holy name. But Krishna will come, definitely. Definitely. In the form of holy name. Prabhupada says He will come in the form of holy name. Or at least He will come in the form of death. Mrityu sarvaharamiham. So to take away everything and give Himself to devotee, He will come. Any other question? Okay. Sorry to take you a long time. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Vaishnava Bhakta Vrinda ki, Sri Pancha Tattva ki, Radha Shyam Sundi Lalita Vishakha Devi ki, Gaur Premanand. Reading from
Hare Krishna. That was a wonderful class from His Grace, Kratu Prabhu. I know it was a pretty long class. I think I didn't even take note of the time. It went very fast. I'll give a quick recap and maybe, quick summary of the points which I could actually note down. And then we can open up for any reflections. He talked about the sins committed against any supreme personality results in death. He talked about we need to have a strong foundation to build strong spiritual life. And that is, we are not this body, but we are soul. And you cannot conceive anything spiritual without material body. He talked about pure devotees they never become victim of ignorance because they're always in the body in the concept of on the spiritual platform, on the soul platform. Topmost welfare for society is the message that we are not this body but the soul, and that's what is very, very important. He also talked about pure devotees is fully convinced and works on spiritual platform. He talked about mind can never be idle even while sleeping, was being very, and so we should engage it in Krishna consciousness. He was talking of surrendering 10% to Supreme Lord, and the Lord always wants to give protection to us, but we will have to be first willing to take shelter of the Lord. Patience, what he was saying that Krishna and Srila Prabhupada will shower costless mercy upon us is very, very important. We should be very always eager to serve Krishna. He talked about the uh, characteristics of one in the Bhava stage. And he also mentioned about pure devotees always engages um, in activities to please the Lord, not for their personal happiness, but for the pleasure of the Lord. And he made a distinction with the Kanishka Adhikari, who actually he would serve the Lord, but also keeping in mind his sense gratification, which is basically a Mishra Bhakti. And he talked about Shuddha Nam. This came from the question and answer where he was talking about by chanting in association of devotees, avoiding offenses, taking sannyas during the chanting time, 2 hours. He was saying it's very important. Become serious and sincere, and give priority to chanting in the early part of the day, and applying mind to chanting the holy name. This was very, very important, he said. And developing love for Krishna, and mind will fall in line. That's what he was saying, without any other distractions. And he talked about constant practice, and 2 hours of detachment and sannyas will really help us in getting, uh, in getting to Shuddhanam. And he was talking about the preparation for death very wonderfully. And he talked about it is practice whole life. If you practice the whole life, it becomes very easy. He talked about situations how various people, even the coma stage, he was saying that Krishna will come in and he will make sure to help us if we are committed to him in our life and engaging in serving him. I'll just stop here. So any comments or any reflections before we close for the day? I think Venkatramana Reddy Prabhu has given a brief background about Kratu Prabhu. He's saying he was born in an aristocratic Gujarati Gaudiya Vaishnava family on July 5th, 1944. His father was an ardent Vaishnava and his mother persistently chanted 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. His wife, Her Grace Amrita Devi Dasi, is also an initiated disciple of Srila Prabhupada. He has given a link where you can refer to its poster on the chat, so you could do that. Thank you, Prabhu, for sharing this. And he's an initiating guru, Rasta Guru. Any other comments, reflections?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
So I think Prabhu, when his realizations with respect to old age, and then how he's trying to concentrate on chanting, that was very insightful and it was very touching. Actually, you could, he was very realized at that point, and that's how he came across as. It came out very strongly. That's what I could feel, and that's learning for all of us to keep in mind. and then take it forward when our time comes there, when we get there. So, very nice class, Prabhu. And Prabhu had actually come to ICC. I don't know how many of you remember.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
I
he
remember
come
that.
once. Yeah, he and Mataji,
Recently,
they
yeah.
both were
Yeah.
there, and he gave a class.
Last year he was here. Last
Last
year.
year.
When we
Correct.
didn't move to the new temple before inauguration, he had
Yes,
come.
in
Yes.
the old temple. Yes, correct.
Around this time, I think he came last year. Yeah.
Right.
Yes,
Thank you,
Prabhu. I
Prabhu.
mean, that was a wonderful realization also in terms of how he was very practical to say. And he also showed about the mercy of Acharyas. It was 64 rounds to 16 rounds, how Prabhupada made it even more easier. But still, he said it's more, but it is Kirtaniya Sadahari. So we should not forget that and hold to only 16 rounds.
Yeah. Very nicely raised the bar for all of us. Just
Yes,
don't
Prabhu.
think only about your 16 rounds. I mean, you will have to do Kirtaniya Sadahari. Yeah. I mean, it's there, but then the way he put it across was so impactful. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Any other realization? Okay, if not, I think it's already 8:30, so we'll just end the session now with the Vaishnava Pranam. Vancha kalpatarubhascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaः. Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki jai, Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, His Grace Kratu Prabhu ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Chaitanya Namaste, Hari Hari Bol. Tomorrow's class will be from the temple directly at 8:30. I'll just end the session now. Hare Krishna. Thanks for joining.